So, Ren is the very first artist I ever reacted to. He was an artist that immediately captivated me with this song of his called Hi Ren. He immediately followed that captivation up with the Tales of Jenny and Screech, and I have since reacted to an incredible amount of his work on YouTube, both him solo with The Big Push and his various collaborations. But what I've not done is listened to the entire Freckled Angels album. So I'm going to do that now. I'm doing that on Twitch with this wonderful group of people in the chat, and with you wonderful people who are following up later watching on YouTube. So if you're one of those people, what up? Guys, this is an album I have gone through and I have heard 4 songs on. 1, 2, Dominos, Love Music 2, and Crutch. So we're going to react to this whole thing beginning to end. From there, I'm going to react to the live version of Freckled Angels because so many people told me it was such a wonderful version. And we're going to do that. I'm going to go bit by bit, maybe discuss the song a little bit afterwards, as well as in the beginning. For the ones I've heard, I might give my commentary on my thoughts afterwards and, whatever listen it might be at that time. Before I hit the play button, it's very important to me that you know that you guys are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and I'm so thankful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes out a long way to help me out, and if you really like what you see, join us on Twitch. This group of people over here, they're the best group of people, and they just want to let you know that you are awesome, that you are welcome, and that we love you. Guys, without further ado, I suppose the first song on this thing is called Make My Way. I'm going to be playing with the lyrics up. For those of you, if you happen to notice that there are incorrect lyrics, please do let me know. But it's just kind of what what other visuals do we have, you know? All right, guys, I love you. Here we go.
Make my way, I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy. They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath.
Nas, that's Nas lyric. I can't sleep, because sleep is the cousin of death. Yeah, that is, I think that's New York State of Mind. But anyway, immediately, first song on the album shouts out Nas. All right, let's go.
It comes easy. They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath.
Make my way, I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy. They say that sleep is...
Wait a minute. I don't think it was New York State of Mind. I need to be thinking about it, but I think it's The World Is Yours. It's The World Is Yours. That's the song where I can't sleep because sleep is the cousin of death.
The cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath. I haven't slept in almost 3 whole nights. The sun, it hurts my eyes, and I prefer the night when the world, it doesn't move. My brain don't feel right, feels computerized. No switch can still my mind, chemicals don't seem to soothe. So I lie awake, just making beats and breaks. It's like the music takes me to a place where there's no pain. So I'll make my way, and yeah, I'll make my way.
Make my way, I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy.
What's interesting is that you kind of have this child voice here, which I imagine is a edited voice, but I really like the Nas homage. I really like how he's kind of singing about the catharsis he finds within music, even though he's sort of battling like the chemical problems, that come with diagnoses.
They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath.
Make my way, I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy. They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I...
There's like some wind element here, like a woodwind sound, kind of like if you were to like blow into a 2 liter, but if that 2 liter was made of wood, it kind of sounds like a Donkey Kong or like a Zelda sound. I don't know what the sound is I'm hearing though.
Keep pushing forward till my last breath. My world is shaped like bedroom floors and skirting boards. My brain is sore but crystal clear. It's 4:30 a.m. here. On my laptop in full gear. Making beats that paint my speakers. Seek to reach the hemisphere. Sun it rises, fills the sky, salutes me like a cavalier. I feel hope but yet so broke. I walk a rope, the tightest rope. I cannot escape, my mind is broke. My thoughts are inside the microscope and
I feel hope but yet so broke. I walk a rope, the tightest rope. I cannot escape. My mind is broke.
Walk a rope, the tightest rope. I cannot escape. My mind is broke. My thoughts are inside the microscope and I'm soaked. Swimming in a sea full of soul. Drowning in solitude, drowning in folk. Swimming in rivers of Babylon. Bubbling, troubling, holding me down by my throat. I try to breathe, I choke. I'm clinging on to hope. The problems of this world live in the lump inside my throat. I've fallen hard from grace. My angels hide their face. But hey, I'll make my way.
Make my way.
This part, the problems of this world, Worry Queen, thank you so much. The problems of this world live in a lump inside my throat. Wow, was that not like eloquent AF? That was so nuts.
I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy. They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath.
Make my way, I'll make my way, believe me. Life can be such trouble, honey, nothing comes easy. They say that sleep is the cousin of death, and so I keep pushing forward till my last breath.
Those noises, it's funny because I'm hearing a lot of like future Ren in this in little pieces, right? Like things he would, like noises he would kind of go on to use later. But I think as far as this song goes, it's kind of a cool beat. I like the homage. He definitely had some really big one-liners in here. But not my favorite Ren song by any means. It's a good song. It's a good opener, but not my favorite. So my thoughts on that one, it's really interesting to see when I came into Ren, he had been fine-tuning the same craft of his for 7 more years, right? Like when I found Ren, like he literally discovered so much about himself. He'd experimented so much more. He'd kind of gotten more of a handle on his health, both mentally and physically. And I think that I came into Ren at a very different perspective. So seeing him on, kind of song number 1 of album number 1 is potentially album number 1 is very, very interesting. And this one is called It's All Right.
And I've walked through the darkest days with no light, with no light, with no light. Stumbling through my head's maze. Left and right, left and right, left and right. Heard that same old beautiful phrase. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Lose myself into the dark of the night, of the night, of the night.
Alright, I just want to say that this whole little verse 1 here with the triplets there at the end, it was super nice. especially with how light, right, all right, night. Like, it was kind of a simple rhyme scheme, but I mean, yeah, like the lyricism here conveys so much more than the simplicity does, and I think that's amazing. I also really love the acoustic feel to this, kind of picking in with the gang vocals here on the ooze.
Sit here in solitude, in the quiet, in the quiet, in the quiet. And if my body asks to move, I won't fight, I won't fight, I won't fight it. And as I search for a way out of sight, out of sight, out of sight, repeat that same old beautiful phrase. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
That was interesting. So just when we go back to the beginning of this, it's all right. Listen, there's another voice in there, and I feel like Ren's kind of yelling in the background. I'm trying to hear it.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
It almost sounds like he's yelling into the microphone with his hand covered, kind of like this. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that's kind of what it sounds like to my ears.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. 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 This with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands. I'm gonna take this with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands, never gonna let go. Take this with both hands, never gonna let go. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
So, hang on.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
So I'm gonna be honest. That song, my least favorite part was the way it ended. I really enjoyed the song again. I think that there was some eloquence here. I like how the chorus was really more of a repetition, of a sound than it was like a particular phrase sung. Other than like it's all right. But the thing that bothered me was I felt like the ending, right? Like if I were to click the "It's All Right" button, look how far back into the song it goes.
It's alright, it's alright.
It went back to 2:48. We had the cool little ending thing there at the end, which might have been like 12 seconds long, but I feel like this song could have been like 38 seconds shorter, maybe, and it would have hit the same impact. I really, really, really liked it, and I really thought it was a cool idea. I actually love to hear this redone. This almost feels like a demo version of the song. I'd love to hear it with a band. But yeah, I definitely can tell that, like, as a songwriter, as a musician, Ren has definitely stepped up a whole ton. Cause like, yeah, like this was all filler, and I feel like he doesn't really have use for much of that now. You know what I mean? It's all right to feel this way. You really have to comfort yourself. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that phrase kind of, I think it's important for us to accept. Now, this is one I've heard, Dominos. I'm interested to hear it kind of again in this context.
Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. So bleed me of all my self-belief. My smile shows all my insecurities. In a kingdom of Photoshop, kings and queens will never feel happy with ourselves, but insecurity sells.
I would like to say I have eaten every single day since like Christmas Day, which means in like a week, that's going to be like 7 months. And I feel very proud of myself, feeling like when I read these lyrics and know where the song, you know, is rooted and kind of where it's going, I feel like a really big pride in that accomplishment. And I would just like anybody listening to this to know, if you're dealing with an eating disorder, the number one thing that helped me was me accepting help. And it sucks huge dicks, but it's the only thing that ever helped. And I hope that maybe you get to a point where you're brave enough to consider letting somebody help you, because it's changed my life. And I believe in you.
Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you built us like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. I hide my head under the sheets, 'cause how can I face a world that ridicules the weak? Where beauty is sold on the shelves, forbid that we find it in ourselves. And now I'm broke, it don't come cheap. Oh, you built this like...
It's so interesting to me when I see this, because I think to a lot of people, like, eating disorders manifest differently. And I think so much of it for me was an element of control over my life. But I think for other people, it's this infinite battle of suffering by comparison to what they see in the world around them, and then forcing themselves to lose that comparison. And you know, I think that there's different stems, there's different causes, there's different types of eating disorders. But it's crazy to me to kind of look at this and in a respect, I feel like I'm at a point where I can remember feeling a lot of the ways, and I still sometimes find myself feeling a lot of the ways, but through like the help, I feel very proud to say, and kind of like foolish for being proud to say, like, I've eaten every day for a while. And I know I shouldn't be like bashful about that accomplishment, because it's a big deal to me. Even if it isn't a big deal to somebody else, it is to me. But it's cool to read these lyrics and to kind of have that moment of like kind of remembering how it feels, but then also feeling differently in my own way. And I believe in that outcome for anybody, regardless of what you're dealing with, whether it's an eating disorder, depression, whatever. I love you, just so you know.
Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you built this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Araya was the most beautiful girl in this world. She shined like diamonds and rubies and pearls. But then, as soon as she turned 13, she forgot just how bright that it was that she gleamed. Stuck in the material world of magazines that glamorise fake and Photoshop beauty queens. Top 10 beauty tips making her feel inadequate. For the first time in her life, she felt ugly. So Araya stopped eating to lose weight. She spent her dinner money on some makeup for her face. But no matter how much she lost or how much she bought, she was never good enough, or so she thought. Araya felt she could never be loved. She started cutting her wrists and hiding her scars with gloves. At 16, an anorexic beauty queen, she collapses in a puddle of her tears and blood. Cause she never felt enough, she never felt enough. Your sellers sold this lie that we must buy to keep in touch. We can never buy enough, never buy enough. All the riches in the world can't buy a sense of self-love. Funny how you act surprised when depression's...
I just want to pause on this lyric and ask you to really consider it, that all the riches in the world can't buy a sense of self-love. I literally handle money for a living, and I know a lot of wealthy people that hate themselves, and I've met plenty of poor people that are just so happy to be alive. You cannot buy a sense of self-love. The only chance of finding one is to find it within yourself, and that means doing a ton of work. For some, and some it comes more naturally. I was one of those people that it took and takes a lot more work for me to have a sense of self-love. But I tell you, when that work is accomplished and you start seeing the fruits of that labor, and you have these moments of clarity where you can look at your life for what it is at that moment and then compare it to what it was in a particularly unhealthy time, there's this crazy thing that happens in your brain where you have this feeling of pride followed by a determination to keep on it. And I just really hope that everybody learns to love themselves, because it's maybe the most important thing I've come to learn in the last chunk of my life. And it's made a big difference to me.
Rise when you force feed inadequacy straight into our eyes. Television shows that praise the beautiful people, and talent competitions that just laugh at the feeble. Billboards, magazines, people turn to plasticine, molded like a factory. We're growing up to fear, feeling ugly. It's lunacy, and not even a community. Cause insecurity breeds judgment, judgment breeds hate, no unity. And hierarchy based upon aesthetics is what makes a kid in school get bullied for genetics. And I felt so ugly growing up. The way that I looked sometimes got me beaten up. I mean, what the fuck sort of culture do we live in when we're defined by the shape of our face, when we're ashamed by the size of our waist, when we're imprisoned by the form that we take? And so we keep buying and spending. That's just how this story goes. You build us up just to knock us back down, and we just keep falling like dominoes.
I really, really, really hope that if you feel any of the ways that this song addresses, you take it seriously enough to take yourself seriously and seek help, or allow help from somebody who cares, because they will, and you deserve it. So I haven't heard the song Satellite Girl. Let's check this one out.
Cause you are my satellite girl. You orbit like an angel. You circle in my atmosphere. My satellite girl. Can we take off? 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 Things burn more bright in the night. I've never seen you burn brighter than tonight. The way you're looking almost hurts my eyes. I'm dazzled by your beauty, such a sight. Take a rocket up just to see you. So
This song feels like it's kind of going in a lot of different ways. I feel like I keep expecting it to do different things. Like it kind of started off as like definitely more of a poppy thing. Then it had the "Can we take off" thing, and then it went into this bit, which was kind of like another rap poppy thing. I don't know. It's a few it's a couple of different directions.
Bright in the night, never seen you burn brighter than tonight. The way you're looking almost hurts my eyes. I'm dazzled by your beauty, such a sight. Take a rocket up just to see you. Swimming in the zero gravity above the sky blue. Breathing in the subatomic particle feels so good. And I hold you, girl, good. You are a star with Mercury's wings. Your elegance sings like but travel so far just to see you again. Your elegance sings, 'cause you are my satellite, girl. You orbit like.
I really thought that chorus was gonna go big. I kind of thought it was gonna do more of a pop punk, like the Fray kind of thing. So that was a little bit different. And what is up, Kane Diggity? Happy to have you.
Angel, you're circling my atmosphere, my satellite, girl. Can we take off? 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 Can we?
The guitar part here kind of sounds a little System of a Downy.
Can we take?
Think the song Chop Suey when you hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da guitar part.
Can we take off? Can we take off? Can we take off? Can we take off? Can we take? Things burn more bright in the dark, and you burn a hole right through my heart. This sort of love is sort of like a lost star. The two of you and me in an old bizarre. Build a ladder so hard to reach you. Every step is worth it just to finally meet you. Could I get a picture? Could I get a preview? And I hold you, go good. You are a star with Mercury's wings. Your elegance sings like travel so far just to see you again. Your elegance sings, 'cause you are my satellite, girl. You orbit like an angel. You're circling my atmosphere, my satellite, girl.
That part also reminds me a little bit of like Reliant K, which is kind of a funny one, but it like just, I don't know what it is about it, but it's kind of rings like a Reliant K bell in my head. It definitely is a little bit of a different vibe than what I've heard Ren do. It's going a few different places. Definitely not my favorite Ren song. Definitely not a bad song. Just not up the alley of things I would normally listen to, you know?
'Cause you are my satellite, go orbit like an angel. You're circling my atmosphere, my satellite, go. Keep on looking through the stars, 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 keep on looking through the stars. You are my satellite, girl. You orbit like an angel. You're circling my atmosphere, my satellite, girl. 'Cause you are my satellite, girl. You orbit like an angel.
So I'm gonna say this. I have some feelings about this one, and it sounds like Ren tried to make a pop song that could be played on the radio, and it's, I think, the worst song I've heard him make. But I don't feel like it. I feel like if he self-produced it, this would have been seen as a demo for a pop studio that would have made it a much different arrangement. I think if this was a studio production, that this was just a totally different stretch from his normal genius. My favorite thing about this was that it was nice to see the homie Ren writing a love song, right? Like, he's had so many tough times, and it was nice to see a painting of just a wonderful flare of love in the the dude who's had a pretty tough run's life. That part makes me happy. But besides that, this was a song that I would hear on the radio and potentially skip. It just doesn't ring the same tuning fork in my loins. Let's hear the next one. We like this one a lot.
And now this is what I love when I can't stop loving. Go out dancing from 10 till 6 in the morning, chatting content to strangers all night, and then waking up with the best memories of your life. For it's a moment when the music hits my soul lifts, and my smile radiates the simple joy and the bliss. My life is this, chasing a dream to make it big. I dream of playing festivals and being top of that list. I dream of 10,000 people singing all my lyrics. I dream of sitting backstage with Stevie Wonder sipping drinks. Dream of making an album called The Greatest Hits. I dream of watching records flying off the shelves of the kids. It's a life that I want to be living, so I'll be giving mind, body, soul until I'm freaking seeing this vision. I'm feeling this mission, feels like I was born to be spitting, and so I stay so dedicated I can aim to the vision.
You know what I was kind of thinking about was this also sounds poppy, but a different way, right? Like we got a horn section here, which I believe Ren probably had the actual horns played with him, but it's a different kind of poppy, but it's like a fun kind of poppy, like one that I don't know that a ton of people, it's like if you bought a CD and it was like the song that wasn't the single that came out on the CD, but it was the other fast and fun one. It kind of feels like that one. Like I think it's lit. I like it. I like all of the different things it does. I like the horns. I like the reggae feel. Like the it's fun.
Whoa, be yourself and you'll be okay. I know this life can be tough, but a smile is just a button away. Press play with just one touch. Whenever my skies turn to grey and life starts getting too much, I'll turn on that tune out. I love this music so much. But da 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 da. But da 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 da.
I really love the bass line at the badatas.
But da 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 da. But da 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 da. Oh yeah yeah da 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 da. I don't ever wanna end up in a 9 to 5, working a full-time job just to try and provide. If I ever gave anyone any advice, would be to follow your dreams until the day that you die. And I'm not fussed about being rich either, as long as I can live the way I want. Keep your mansion, keep your beamer, I don't want them, as long as I can live happily and earn a comfortable life for my family and me, and be free. For life it's never ever set in stone, that's why I never followed anybody's rules for my own. I always did things with love and respect for myself, but if you bring people down, then you're affecting yourself. But if you bring others up to places they couldn't reach, then you're a
This is also something I really think Ren like practiced what he preaches. I always did things through love and respect for myself, but if you bring down, then you're affecting yourself. But if you bring others up to the places they couldn't reach, then your rewards would be much more than you could earn in a week. Yes, absolutely. And I would beg anybody to try to adopt that mentality. Because I absolutely think that's what makes more sense. Be the better person. It's worth a lot more.
They be much more than you could earn in a week, and your potential has no bounds. Please take it from me. That's why I swear you could fly if you only believe. Oh, be yourself and you'll be okay. I know this life can be tough, but a smile is just a button away. Press play with just one touch. Whenever my skies turn to grey, life starts getting too much. I turn on that tune out. I love this music so much. I be the lyrical syllable killer, the blood spiller. I be the baddest on the scene, call me the Godfather. My head be so far in the cloud that I could see the stars. And when I'm spitting the rhythm, precisionally take it much farther. This is the new shit, rat-a-ta-ta. Half use it, with lyrics use it. Mix it up and God, this music take me so I can taste it. The snare and the bass kick, feel it in my chest coming up from the basement. Oh, be yourself and you'll be okay. I know this life can.
You know what I didn't notice in the last time was the gal's voice in the background here. Listen to this.
Be yourself and you'll be okay. I know this life can be tough, but a smile it's just a button away. Press play with just one touch. Whenever my skies turn to grey and life starts getting too much, I turn on that tune out. I love this music so much.
So here's kind of my thoughts. I really love music. I think it's a very, very, very different version of Ren than you would still normally hear. And I don't know if it's that he's kind of moved out of doing songs that sound so poppy. But there's a difference in the writing for sure, and the stuff he's been dropping lately versus what he's kind of been what he'd kind of dropped. Now 1990s. I think I have heard that one. Is this the Beastie Boys one, or am I wrong there? I could be wrong. I am not sure. By the way, I'm interested to know if you guys Love Music 1 or 2. I'm going to put a poll for that up a little bit later. So after we listen to Love Music 2, you guys can decide. Let's get back into this. This is 1990s.
Messenger.
Just give me 10 minutes.
I need to use the phone.
Oh, hang on, I'm just finishing.
No, come off now.
As a 10-year-old, hell yeah, I was cool. I wasn't shooting any b-ball outside of the school. I was shooting old people with my potato.
This is definitely like a kind of an Eminem homage beat, or like an Eminem beat homage. Kind of reminds me of Without Me, or no, Without Me.
I need to use the phone.
Oh, hang on, I'm just finishing.
No, come off now.
As a 10-year-old, hell yeah, I was cool. I wasn't shooting any b-ball outside of the school. I was shooting old people with my potato gun, throwing water bombs at cars and playing knock door run. A 10-year-old terrorist, armed with an arsenal of 6 eggs and a super soaker filled with piss. Just a little kid though, never meant any harm. Now I see kids with knives twice the size of their arm. They're like, blood, I'm gonna cause you damage. Man, what's wrong with you? You're only 10. Go and play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Hang on, I think I've missed something here. So, get off MSN Messenger. Shout out to kids that are, that age, because I was definitely more of an AIM kind of guy. Jeff Blackman, what's up, man? This, I think, I wasn't shooting any b-ball outside of the school, is a lyric that needs to be revisited.
Wasn't shooting any b-ball outside of the school.
We all know now, by the way, that that's really just how he bounces the basketball.
I was shooting old people with my potato gun, throwing water bombs at cars and playing knock door run. A 10-year-old terrorist, armed with an arsenal of 6 eggs and a super soaker filled with piss. Just a little kid though, never meant any harm. Now I see kids with knives twice the size of their arm. They're like, blood, I'm gonna cause you damage. Man, what's wrong with you? You're only 10. Go and play some Dungeons and Dragons. At your age I was catching frisbees, not chlamydia. My very favourite artist was X gon' give it to you. Okay, I lied. I was listening to 5 and I'm blue, driver die. But that's alright, I'm just a regular everyday type of guy from the very best decade on this earth. 90s, baby, the year that my mommy made me, and I wouldn't wanna have it any other way, no. I play Nintendo daily, my Sonic skills, yeah, they're crazy. And if you wanna play Tekken 2, I'll put you away. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s, yeah. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s. Rihanna, babe, I'm sorry, I wasn't that rude, but I could solve a Rubik's Cube in only 15 moves. Come on, rude boy, I could get it up. When I saw Jerry Halliwell, it's like it was stuck.
I kind of like how Rude Boy seems to evolve in the Sick Boy.
Got a Tamagotchi, got me hooked, and got a Pokemon card, and it's a shiny one. Look, I was chilling with my homeboys playing pogs, mad skills on my yo-yo, walking the dog, and on Sim City I'm god, and flashing shoes when I jog, and playing Frogger, jump the log across the road with the frog, and I was feared at my school. I was wow hard, fuck with the kid with the Charizard. 90s, baby.
I just...
fuck with the kid with the Charizard.
That might need to become a soundbite for me.
Fuck with the kid with the Charizard. 90s, baby, the year that my mommy made me, and I wouldn't wanna have it any other way, no. I play Nintendo daily, my Sonic skills, yeah, they're crazy. What, you wanna play Gran Turismo? Bring it, mate. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s, yeah. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s, yeah. Screw Calvin Harris, cause I was born in the 90s. Eating sugar but puffy, but watching Buffy, but flipping puppy. I'm feeling lucky, stack Monopoly money, honey. I'm saved by the bell, love it like Keenan and Kel, love it. And who loves orange soda? Bring it back to the 90s, baby. I got the.
I like a lot of the homage and reference here. Like, of course, you know, Kel loves orange soda. Except for the episode where he picked root beer because Keenan told him to pick something all girly.
Ranger, flashing lights on my trainer's plastic lightsaber. Damn Tomb Raider, wanna raid your womb properly. Hold on a second, here's my 6-inch floppy disk. Hee, I'm the fastest, I told them. A megabyte an hour on my dial-up modem. That's quick. Yeah, it's the fastest on my street. Put a bowl on my head, I shave the sides off. Sweet. Gola on my feet, Puma on my jumper. Yeah, I know fashion and my tape player pumps. The spice goes out. I know what it's about. Two becomes one. I played that proud. I played that loud. I'm a zig out with my Furby playing Kirby on my blow-up couch. So keep your iPhone. I'm a Nokia baby. 99 to the year that my mummy made me.
So 1990s is a fun song. It was full of a lot of homage. It was definitely kind of a more commercially song. I like that he just overtly started shit with Calvin Harris because he's probably like, I don't care if Calvin Harris ever wants to do music with me. I don't want to do anything with Calvin Harris. I think that's kind of hilarious. According to Chad, apparently Calvin Harris blocked him for this song too, which is wonderful. And the other thing, I'm kind of with Mav there. A 6-inch floppy, you know, that's definitely more of a shower, not a grower. Neither here nor there. 1990s is a pretty good song. I definitely liked it better than the last one I just listened to. Just want to say immediately, this song Pixie is pretty dope already. I like the sounds I'm hearing, like the instruments I'm hearing. I also think it's kind of cool because I said one of his songs, Crutch, sounded sort of like a Pixies song. And after like a 90s homage thing, I think this is kind of dope. So I definitely want to go back.
She'll be picking pockets, stealing hearts on the high street, alright. My little Pixie, I can get quite drunk on her love, it makes me tipsy all night. My little Pixie, I can see.
Hey, so there's this song by an artist called Shwazy that's called Drunk on Your Love or Drunk Off Your Love, and he literally says, feeling tipsy when you're with me, I'm drunk off your love. And that lyric kind of made me think of that.
The mischief in the rise, I see she's tricksy, alright. And my little Pixie, oh, she lit my life like a bonfire, it burns so bright. There's a difference between lust and love, and I just think I got it. And everywhere that I go, I take my Pixie with me in my pocket.
There's a difference between lust and love, and I just think I got it. That's kind of a pretty cool lyric, actually.
I said the way that you're moving is magical, please don't stop it. Now everywhere that I go, I take my Pixie with me in my pocket.
And just to put it out there, this has been my favorite one that I haven't heard so far, by far.
You circle my bottles like a smoke ring, intoxicated lungs with the fumes of love I'm toking. I pour them faster than the raindrops hit the ground I'm soaking. T-shirt full of tears and my heart it is hoping. If you fall apart then the door might still be open, and I will still get to hold you even when we're old. Girl, give you my soul to keep. just like I'll keep you with me, forever in my pocket, in my little pixie. There's a difference between lust and love, and I just think I got it. And everywhere that I go, I take my pixie with me in my pocket. I said the way that you're moving is magical, please don't stop it. Now everywhere that I go, I take my pixie with me in my pocket. You're making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh. Making me so happy, my pixie, oh. Making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh yeah. Making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie.
I wonder what we're talking about when we say my pixie.
Oh, you're making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh yeah. Making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh. You're making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh yeah. You're making me so, yeah, you're making me so, yeah, you're making me so happy, my pixie. You're making me so, you're making me so.
I would also like to comment that we have a slick like 2.5 minutes of the same thing repeated over and over and over and over. I think Ren, as a songwriter, has learned much better uses of his time.
You're making me so happy, my pixie, oh yeah. Making me so, making me so happy, my pixie, oh. You're making me so, you're making me so happy, my pixie, oh yeah. Making me so happy, my pixie, oh.
See the guitar solo thing? I feel like we could have done that 9 You're Making Me So ago.
I said, oh, you make me so. I said, oh, you make me so. I said, oh, you make me so. I said, oh, you make me oh. I said, oh, you make me so.
Yeah.
Oh, you make me oh.
See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to talk shit on my guy Ren here. Understand. If somebody loves him, it's me. But what I am saying is he's got better songs than this, and I like that he has gotten out of the, well, let's fill time for a minute because I made the sample a minute too long.
I said, oh, you make me so.
That was a cool part. Okay, I've not heard Streetlights, but I think the one we just heard, which was Pixie, was, I'm gonna give that one like a perfect 5 of Ren's songs. 5 out of 10. He's got better for sure. He had some cool genius parts though, all the same, and I really liked that. So I'm up in the air.
Whoa, these lights burn so bright. Whoa, whoa, out here on these city nights. Whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright. Whoa, whoa.
I like this.
So I hit the pub like 8:33 with 45 quid and a packet of Wrigley's. Extra, just like a metal detector. Scan of coins in my wallet to pay for my pint of Bex. Next, I move from the bar with my jar to the far corner of the room. Boom, 1 pint and it's time for round 2. Put your hands in your wallet cause this pint's on you.
Street lights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright.
Actually, I'm going to go back a little bit so you guys can kind of hear he's beatboxing in the background of this too. I really kind of like this. I think it's hilarious that this is clearly just typed by some enthusiast.
1 pint and it's time for round 2. Put your hands in your wallet.
But you've got another element of his like kind of hip hop meets rap meets reggae meets rock sort of vibe. Like it's pop, but it's a lot of other stuff too. I like it.
This pint's on you.
Street lights, whoa, whoa.
Very love music like Mav. Very love music like.
These lights burn so bright. Whoa, whoa. Out here on these city nights. Whoa, whoa.
And it actually sounds like that's a cajon in my ears. It doesn't sound like it's a real drum set. Like I'm hearing him beatboxing, and I think I'm hearing a guy playing a cajon.
These lights burn so bright. Whoa, whoa. So now I'm spinning 6
Like a dude would if you were busking.
down in a shot of tequila, but a rocket of Bacardi breezer, and I'm swaying, leaning like the Tower of Pisa, but I'm keeping my cool like the coolest setting on your fridge freezer. Though 1 pint more, a packet of crisps and a bottle of Coors, and my liver's like, mate, please no more, but I never ever listen because livers can't talk. Street lights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, out here on these.
I'm still laughing at my liver's like, mate, please no more, but I'm like, I never listen because livers can't talk. That was cool.
Nights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, street lights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, out here on these.
You're definitely hearing some Sting reggae influence in the background there.
Nights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa. So get me another pint of the barman's best, a tequila slammer with some lemon zest, please. A packet of Lambert and bottle of cigarettes. Boy, I really think you need to give it a rest. Back it up.
I hate that he also said he made a 2-syllable word. Boy, I really think you need to give it a rest. He's a much stronger songwriter now.
Getting in a packet of peanuts, feeling pretty sick about the spew my guts, and in this state of mind could only think when my so if you've got a post then you're in luck, cause I'm so drunk that I'm seeing 2 of you. You invited your twin babe, she's pretty cute.
Get away from me, boy, your head is screwed.
But girl, I think I love you. Street lights, so whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, I'll keep on these city nights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, oh, street lights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, whoa, I'll keep on these city nights, whoa, whoa, these lights burn so bright, whoa, 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 oh, 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 oh,
This is weird. Why? This. That was super weird. It's almost like he made a mistake in editing and decided to leave it in since the song was almost over.
I don't wanna hear no words.
You know, what I will say, though, was that was fun. That kind of had a love music vibe going on for it. But yeah, that would definitely, like, I love when musicians break the time signature, but that seemed like it was just kind of doing it on the way out, and it wasn't like he played that so much as it was programmed that way. So there's a little bit of a difference to me in my brain there, but it definitely kind of threw me off.
Because they pull me under castle in my room, I'll hide away from the outside thunder. Gonna lock my troubles outside of this door.
I like this. This is smooth. This one is smooth. I don't want to hear no words today because they pull me under. In the castle of my room, I'll hide away from the outside thunder. Gonna lock my troubles outside of this door because today is just me and these 4 walls. That is, wow.
Just me and these 4 walls.
Ooh, I love the delays in the guitar here.
I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. The light that I hold, it turns to grey.
Ooh.
And that makes me wonder, will I always feel this way? So far under, but I'll put my soul on show for everyone to see. Cause even though it's bruised,
I like that he threw the rhyme there too. I know you guys hear me comment on it like every time an artist throws the rhyme, but it really stands out to me, and I think it's because it's neat. Like, and it's neat because people are so afraid to throw a rhyme and say what they feel, that they make it rhyme and say something that they don't necessarily mean, or it's not exactly as they mean it. And I like the way he just says it. And yeah, I think the music here is some of my favorite on the album because it sounds the most organically created. But also the lyrics here, it's yeah, Warrior Queen. It's like you said, deep lyrics, sort of an upbeat song, kind of has like a cheerful melancholy to it. You know, I see a lot of this. Ren's writings has themes of him wanting to run away, you know, of his feelings of gray, which are commented in a couple of different ways in a couple of different songs, and, you know, having bruises and anxieties. And I think that there's a lot of this that is kind of speaking into feelings that we already know he has, but also the comment on wanting to run away and fly away to another place. He's kind of got to do that, but I think maybe in his own way now, looking forward, we kind of get to see like, well, you know, he had some growing up to do. Everywhere you go, there you are. You got to fix you before you can fix what's wrong, and that's difficult. Bare minimum, you got to take steps to do it, but it's tough. And it's kind of cool to see this, the way it's written.
I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Nobody here but me today, but that makes me stronger. 'Cause I'll wash away the pain under sheets of feather. Gonna lock my troubles outside of this door. 'Cause today it's just me and these four walls. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. I said I wanna run away, wait. I said I wanna run away, wait. I said I wanna run away, wait.
Okay.
I said I wanna run away, wait. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. I said I wanna run away, I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run. Hey.
These drum tracks are all over the place.
I said I wanna run away, I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run. Hey, oh. I said I wanna run away, I said I wanna run, I got to another place. And I don't wanna hear no words today, because they pull me under the castle of my room. I'll hide away.
So I like that this song focused lyrics throughout here. The other thing, as in like he didn't have any of those kind of like really long drawn out pauses or repetitions. I mean, there was a big repetition there, but what I think my opinion is, as I'm kind of getting through this, is that this album really had to walk so that the Ren that we know now could run. And I'm definitely hearing where some of his noises that he was like kind of brewing on in some of these songs would come out in some later songs. But yeah, it's definitely a scenario where I'm hearing like he kind of did a lot of stuff, and it seemed like he was sort of trying to do something different with his music than be himself. And now it kind of feels like we're definitely within content that is like doing what he kind of wants it to do instead of doing what he felt other people wanted. Does that make sense? That's, again, I think that Freckled Angels, the album, needed to walk so that Ren could run. Simple. And what up, Gigi? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, we are reacting to Ren's album, Freckled Angels.
I watch the sun when it rises, when it's climbing the sky. I sit here with the pocket full of pain. I've got tears in my juice, in my mind there's a noose, but my hope makes me cling to the day.
Yo, I watched the sun when it rises, when climbing the sky. I sit here with my pocket full of pain. I've got tears in my juice, in my mind there's a noose, but my hope makes me cling to the day. That is gnarly.
I wanna run with the sun and the moon and the stars, till I'm running faster than my pain.
Ooh,
I wish I could breathe out this fear, this doubt, send it into the Milky Way. I got my finger on the trigger of a Magnum 44, but survival instinct won't let me bleed. I wanna put a bullet straight at my cerebral tissues place, but my index finger won't let me squeeze. I wanna skate down my vein with the blade till the blood runs thicker than the thoughts in my head. But don't ask me why, this is not my goodbye, it's a suicide failure attempt.
Dang. That was... It's such a happy song to be about something so brutal, you know? I can relate to the feelings, and it's crazy to think how cheerful the song sounds, but it's like, I can't help but kind of like see myself in a bathtub when I hear this song, and it's like, mine wasn't a failed suicide attempt so much as a success at living, and I'm like firm on that, but like I can still remember the way both things felt, and this song kind of brings that back. I love the noises though.
I choose life, I choose life, I choose living. Put the bottles and the pills down, I stand up, I breathe with precision. Calm washes over me like a break in the storm. I close my eyes for a minute, then my troubles transform, and I travel deep into the corners of my mind. I remember the first time I felt hopeless. I think I was 5, cause at the hands of this bully, the lessons that
I don't hear a whammy pedal, no.
I learned is that this world is not so beautiful. Sometimes it can be burnt by the fires of evil that are living inside the common people just like you and like I. We'll all strive to survive.
If you're wondering what that noise is, he's doing finger picking, so you're hearing ding, ding, ding.
And we all climb to the top over our brothers and sisters, whether we mean to or not. And we get lost in the tide of insecurities and power-seeking fooleries, but happiness don't live inside no jewelleries. In an age of distraction, we would rather tap on our iPhones than stop a war from happening. It's heartbreaking, Satan's patiently waiting for us.
Wait a minute. I want to kind of go back because I was pointing out something. Common people. Yeah, hang on.
Cause at the hands of this bully, the lessons that I learned is with precision. Calm washes over me like a break in the storm. I close my eyes for a minute, then my troubles transform, and I travel deep into the corners of my mind. I remember the first time I felt hopeless. I think I was 5, cause at the hands of this bully, the lessons that I learned is that this world is not so beautiful. Sometimes it can be burnt by the fires of evil that...
When is the first time that you felt hopeless? I'd have to really think about the first time I felt hopeless. But man, that is a very interesting question. When was the last time you felt hopeless? And then, when was the last time you felt hopeful? I feel like we need to remember the good things and the bad things at the same time, but it's definitely an interesting thought. First, remembering the first time you were helpless. It's wow.
Living inside the common people just like you and like I. We'll all strive to survive and we all climb to the top over our brothers and sisters, whether we mean to or not. And we get lost in the tide of insecurities and power-seeking fooleries, but happiness don't live inside no jewelleries. In an age of distraction, we would rather tap on our iPhones than stop a war from happening. It's heartbreaking, Satan's patiently waiting for us to mess up.
I was 7, so I was in the 2nd grade. I'd had my appendix taken out. It had ruptured and I'd gotten E. coli, and I was hospitalized for a really long time because they didn't really know much about E. coli in the 90s. And I can remember being in the hospital for months as they were kind of telling my mom like I might die, and I eventually clearly pulled through. And I can remember hearing people say I might die as a kid and not really understanding it. Like, how? And then I can remember going to school, and for a long period of time, like, I had this huge scar on my stomach, like, that at this time was like a wound that had been sealed together. And I can remember going to school when I was finally out of the hospital and able to go to school, and I wasn't really able to do anything. And I can remember being so excited because it had been so long since I went to school. And I remember recess, and I was so excited to play with kids, and they wouldn't let me go outside. They wouldn't let me run. They wouldn't let me do anything. I couldn't play with people. I had to sit by myself with a teacher in the classroom. And I can remember feeling very helpless. And I think as I'm sitting here thinking about this moment, that wasn't like, it wasn't like hopeless at the hands of somebody else. I think that was really the first. I was in Mrs. McDaniel's class. Like, I can absolutely remember that. The same woman that taught me words have power. But yeah, I think that was, I'm sorry, I was sitting here thinking about it as I was going through that, but I think that feeling of not being able to go outside and be with people and play with people, and knowing that it was because I was hurt or sick or different or dealing with whatever this thing was that almost was going to make me die, like, it was so weird to me. And I can really remember feeling helpless in that moment. It's a little piece of subtext of my life for you guys.
Happiness don't live inside no jewelleries. In an age of distraction, we would rather tap on our iPhones than stop a war from happening. It's heartbreaking, Satan's patiently waiting for us to mess up big time, so hell on earth will be blatant. So forgive me for wanting to blow my brains out, but I've got a change of heart. It's time for change now, rearrange now, fist in the sky. I say proud, say loud, revolution word on my brain now. People hold the power, and power's with the people. The people strive for unity, the world it could be equal. You could be the start of the beginning, a dawn of no stress, no troubles, no sinning, just living. So overthrow evil and greed, put aside your distractions, welcome change with me, welcome change with me, welcome change with me, welcome change, welcome change, welcome change with me, welcome change with me, now welcome change with me, now welcome change, welcome change, welcome change with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Da, 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 do.
I think that this one was very eloquent in the way it articulated the desire of ending one's life. I also think it was great at commenting on why we don't. But I definitely had I had some pretty big feelings there, you know, like I always get to live in the fact that I left the bathroom, you know what I mean? That like I didn't take my life. But I gotta say, even though I can think about the moments and how I overcame it, it's still a hard one to think about. And I think in contexts like this, that's another part of the meaning of the phrase, everywhere you go, there you are. You know, like no matter where I go, I'm never going to be able to get away from that memory. So all I can do is hope that I survive and live my life in a way that lets that moment not be for vain. And thank you guys for the nice words. I mean, I really do really do appreciate it. Love music part 2. Thank God.
Testing 1 2 1 2. How's my levels? Is that coming out okay? Can you hear
it
me?
is.
Hang on. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hello.
Oi, what do you get if you take a Welsh boy? Mix in some lunacy, mix in some noise. Mix in affliction with music addiction, conviction and friction, and leave it to boil. Friend, but don't overcook me please. Serve me with the fine wine and a cheddar cheese, cause I'll immature with age and I don't deep freeze, cause I'm...
Man, if this one isn't a fucking emotional roller coaster, we just went from Pocket Full of Pain to this song. My feelings are everywhere.
Oh, you freeze it with the fire that I preach. Deep. I speak metaphors in my sleep. Soliloquies in solitude, my mind on the beat. Neat. I repeat words, retweet. I said neat. I repeat words, retweet. Heat. I chase pretty girls till I'm weak. I was talking to this one girl just last week. She said, Ren, you're so tongue-in-cheek. But it was hard to hear her talk with my tongue in the cheek. Half animal and cannibal, I'm flammable, it's tangible. My casual, yeah, radical, grammatical mind is practical, impactful, and really quite supernatural, detachable. From my skull, socket in my spine.
Insane, is he possessed by a monster? Hunchback of Notre Dame type posture, clasping his hands like a rapist lobster.
Talk like Tony Montana, mobster, say hello.
I gotta say, I don't know what his little accent here is. I don't know what the Brits would call it.
Insane, is he possessed by a monster? Hunchback of Notre Dame type posture, clasping his hands like a rapist lobster.
I don't know what you guys would call that, because I don't believe that's the Cockney one, because I ain't hear him say oi or anything like, you know, oi. I actually don't really know how that's a Dracula style accent. Oh, no, I knew it wasn't Cockney. I was saying I definitely know it's not Cockney, but I definitely thought it was British, but it sounds like he's a British guy trying to do a Dracula style accent.
Like Tony Montana, mobster, say hello to my little friend once again. I got more lines than a cocaine den. Ren, I'll say you once again if you forget. Ren, fill your lungs out like a cigarette. Haha, the kiddie with the wordplay fetish. Alliteration of a line to lush like lettuce. I live my life with love and light, illuminate like lightning. The liberation leader with linguistics of a lion.
You know it's all just fun and games, yeah, honey. You got me smiling like there's something funny. This music soothes my soul like melted honey, and I love it, yeah.
Yes, I sink MCs like battleships plundered. Twist words like Tony Hawk's 900. Post that quote on Tumblr. Reblog that quote if you want to, dub. Cause I'ma bring the love, I'ma sing the love. Half chav, half hippie, I'm a chip.
By the way, a lot of you guys have asked. I didn't win the contest, but just because Tony Hawk, his name is mentioned, so we're going to go back and hear this line.
Words like Tony Hawk's 900. Post that quote on Tumblr. Reblog that quote if you want to, dub. Cause I'ma bring the love, I'ma sing the love. Half chav, half hippie, I'm a chippy love. And I was raised in the country, not the city, bruv. So I'm stabbing up cheese, never people blood. Because we need some love, we need it like a drug. And even if you're feeling minging like an ugly pug, you deserve a hug. Cause man, believe me, yes, you're brilliant. I shape the scene like Shakespeare, now they call me William. I'm killing them all over every border and meridian. I'm giving them my idiom so harder than iridium. I'm purer than Bolivian, I'm deeper than amphibians. A dippy lippy, pretty looking hippie village idiot.
You know it's all just fun and games, yeah, honey. You got me smiling like there's something funny. This music soothes my soul like melted honey, and I love it,
Remember in the 90s, people used to sing rap, and I'ma try to bring that right back. Sean Paul taught me how to beat, and Shaggy told him it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
But I saw you on the CCTV.
It wasn't me.
Breaking into Toys R Us last week.
It wasn't me.
You were dressed like a ninja sheep and using Furbies like bowling balls. Seriously, you're insane, Ren. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're talking to yourself. You're a motherfucking nutter. You're losing the plot.
The things you miss when you hear it with lyrics, you know what I mean? Like, of course, I know not all of the lyrics have been perfectly spot on, but like, he really does call out a lot of commercialism in a lot of this. Like, and again, his pop culture referencing within this, like Quantum of Solace and James Bond, like he literally, oh my God, yeah, I forgot. He does all of the James Bond movies, doesn't he? Or at least most of them.
More than Quantum of Solace. That film seriously really quite bollocks. James Bond type reflexes. Shaken not stirred when I'm mixing up my letters. Golden eye fixed on the Thunderbolt checklist. Diamonds are forever so I eat them for breakfast. Live another day but tomorrow never dies. I live and let die but you only live twice. Through your eyes only, see it through your eyeballs. And I fell off the moonraker skyfall. You got to know I got
11, 12? 13? I think that was 13. I think it was 20. But I think he called out 13. Wait, hang on, there's more.
the flow. I'm the
11, 12, 13.
to know with the license to kill, the man 14, with the golden gun type 15, skill. Octopussy means 8 girls, that's ill. Gold finger? 19, nah, golden tongue. And I'm sending this message from Russia with love. 20, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, I went to 20, Casino Royale. The world is not enough.
So it was 22. I believe it was 22. Wait a minute. I think I counted. Did I count Moonraker, Skyfall twice? Alright, so guys, while we let the last little bit of Ren's music play out, because, you know, he does that in this phase of his music career, I posted a poll. Do you like Love Music 1 or 2 better? If you look above the chat.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe.
So I haven't heard the song Meaning yet, but it seems like it's a minute 31. It also seems like it's kind of a soft and sentimental bit. Let's see what we got. And YouTuberooskies, in case you were wondering what the Twitcherooskies liked more out of Love Music 1 or 2, I will update you on the poll when it is finished up, which should happen it will happen within this video.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like, you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, so I take that same principle and I apply it to life.
E = MC squared. That's what he's talking about.
3-letter equation, so I take that same principle and I apply it to life. For every moment's an opportunity in a different disguise.
The theory of relativity is what that principle.
To be aware of your... Take that same principle and I apply it to life. For every moment's an opportunity in a different disguise. To be aware of your potential, that is to open our eyes. The only force that works against us is the ticking of time, but I accept mine. I stare death in the face, I take hold of his bony fingers, I hold death and embrace. For to accept death, that is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job, trying to build some sort of status for ourselves before our time is up, if when we get there we feel the same as we did from the start? Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence. Buddhist monks will spend days.
I would really like to go back and hear him say this again.
Spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence.
I would challenge you, if you are listening to this right now, to just at some point of your day, when you're not idly watching some guy on YouTube or scrolling in your phone or whatever it is you're doing, just sit and be a part of a moment. Just literally sit and shut your brain the fuck up and let it just make whatever brain noise it does, literally, and just sit there and think to yourself, I am sitting. And then just think about your breathing for just a little bit. Just think about some breathing, and believe it or not, that really will help you. And in just doing simple things like that, you might find that your ability to persist through things, to endure things, might be a little bit easier. You might find yourself a little bit less stressed, whatever the case may be. I would really, really, really just challenge you to sit still and be in a moment. You might find the own meaning to your existence. Who's to say?
Spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence. Buddhist monks will spend days in deep meditation, and saints will contemplate God and all of his creations. Scientists will try to summarize with an equation. Consumerists, they'll try to buy the ticket to salvation. Well, this is my theory. This is my school of thought. The meaning of life is much easier than once thought. I think that the meaning of life is to simply live. And if I am wrong, then Lord, please forgive, but it seems so simple that it's obvious. It makes me want to shout out that the meaning of life is this moment, this second, right here, right now.
Fucking right. Yes. Yes. Literally, there are things within your control, and there are things that are outside of your control. And if you focus on the things that are in front of you and within your control, and if you can learn to just focus on those things, and it takes bit by bit, but if you can learn to do those things, you will find that you were equipped with tools to handle so many of your anxieties the entire time. It's a constant battle, and it's one I struggle with still, but I guarantee you, as a person who has tried it now both ways, I prefer the way that gives me a chance at longer lasting happiness. And that's just me. And I hope you're able to find whatever works for you. I immediately want to pause this just to comment on how much I like the guitars here, because it kind of sounds like some indie, like some old kind of underground indie music, you know?
And every time my heart it breaks, my friends say learn from your mistakes, but I keep falling down. Fortune's made me such a fool, and beauty is a deceptive tool, but she keeps shooting me down. She struck me in the chest now.
I want this to have a more punk rock vibe. I want the guitars to be louder and harder. I want it to be slightly faster, and I want a more present bass.
She struck me in the chest now. Like a bullet. But I don't wanna go down. Like a bullet. Tired eyes and a broken soul. I tell her I'm her beck and call, but she don't want me around. So all alone I'll wait for you, 'cause moving on so hard to do. I really hope that you come around. She struck me in the chest now. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a. But I don't wanna go down. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a.
It kind of feels like this song walked so that the Big Push's song Icarus could run. You know what I mean? It sounds a little bit to me like these were the beginning thoughts of something like Xbox, Marijuana, or Icarus.
She struck me in the chest now. But I don't wanna go down. On the trigger and the bigger if she pull it, then the bullet will go right into my chest. And I know it is a metaphor, but honestly I'd probably prefer it if it was a bullet best. And I really wish I wasn't so stressed. But my heart's in her hands and I feel like she hates me half the time at best. She struck me in the chest now. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... But I don't wanna go down. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... She struck me in the chest now. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... But I don't wanna go down. Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a... Like a bullet, like a bullet, like a...
Okay, so here is another one of my thoughts. This walked so that Ren could run. I think that this kind of sets up a lot of the stuff that would happen with the big push later. It kind of sets up, some of his like more live songs. I think as far as this goes, it just doesn't feel like the kind of music I can't imagine him playing this in a live context because I can't imagine a band playing it with him. I imagine he'd have to just have it sampled. And then, him going from the singing to the rapping thing, it's a lot to do. I'm confident he could do it, but I just really feel like he's kind of outgrown a lot of this album. I think some of the songs are still huge and big, but in a lot of ways he feels like he's really outclassed or evolved past a lot of what I'm hearing here. Oh, hit play. Come on, Walt. Okay. I like this.
Let's go.
Marilyn Monroe is another frequent theme in his music.
Rain drums at the side of the window. Pitter patter, it's a perfect crescendo. With the charm and the beauty of a young girl, Marilyn Monroe makes me wonder. Is there peace to be found in the gutter? Her release in the sound of thunder. Sensations mine to plunder. I grow fonder. Oh, this beauty, beauty is found in time and space. I've lost my mind, but I've refound my faith. A faith in this life to be the gain. I guess there is hope to be found in the end. And oh, my mind is on fire, fire's burning, taking me higher.
This is good. Yeah, we like this one. This is a good one.
Higher, and I can't sleep. I'm feeling wired, so wired. Bruises got me, feeling inspired, yeah. The pitter patter, it be thumping like techno.
I had to do a double check here. I was like, man, this song sounds really familiar. And it turns out I already did a reaction to it. So I don't feel bad about accidentally hearing a song that I hadn't heard yet because I've heard this one. So I guess it was 5 songs that I'd heard from this album. Yeah, Fire is really, I think, maybe my favorite of the rock-oriented songs I've heard on this one. This one definitely better, and unfortunately it is at max volume right now.
And the rumble of the thunder like an echo. Feeling manic, close to panic. I wish I could freaking run it with this fire so volcanic. Keep me breathing. I will rock.
Oh, and to everybody saying it's got a Chili Peppers vibe, you right.
The floors to the ceiling. Inspiration, it fills me with healing. Oh, this life never felt so appealing. Oh, what the feeling. Oh, this beauty, beauty is found in time and space. I've lost my mind, but I've refound my faith. A faith in this life to be the gain. I guess there is hope to be found here, my friend. Oh, my mind is on fire, fire's
Yeah, definitely Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm a little bit.
Taking me higher, and I can't sleep. I'm feeling wired, so wired. Bruises got me feeling inspired, yeah. Oh, babe, left me quite tired, yeah. This moment is my messiah. All these moments want to desire, and the ocean sings to me silently, it's singing out.
This drum walk-in kind of reminds me the most of the Foo Fighters based on what you're saying. I also want to comment that this also has sort of Chop Suey by System of a Down guitar vibes in the background. Like, I can hear the riff in my head where he does those high-pitched guitar parts. Because I hear, like, oh dang. Oh dang, guys, buckle up for this one. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the music video on while we're here. Just for this one.
Maybe if I move, maybe my troubles won't follow me.
And I also just want to comment again. There's several themes that kind of repeat through this, right? Like his search for a Messiah, his and a desire for somebody to save him from sort of the pain he feels, his his love for music and the catharsis he finds in that love for music. The pain of his friend, new love, old love, and like kind of how he has to depend on people. But also there's this element of everywhere he goes, there he is. And I think it's again kind of nuts to hear him say, maybe if I move, my troubles won't follow me. Like he knows they will, right? Like he knows that they will, and yet he comments on it anyway. And I think that just speaks so perfectly into the human condition. And it's probably my favorite line of Crutch.
Maybe if I move, maybe my troubles won't follow me. I've got none to lose, 'cause everything turned to dust around me. My hope, it got so bruised, 'cause circumstance held me and it drowned me. I'm searching for the glue to try and fix these broken things around me.
I also think as I like listen to this, I can't imagine what it is he's going through. I'm so happy to in this moment. I'm so happy that he's kind of like escaped it, but it's it's crazy to see how in some respects some of this album has been incredibly childish and poppy, and in other respects it's been very, very deep and stroked and genius. And I don't know that I would have called Ren a virtuoso at this point, but I think that what we've seen is a guy who has worked tirelessly and relentlessly on his craft and had enough experience that he was able to really fine tune something and really, kind of throw his pain through the smelter to make gold. And I think that that's pretty amazing.
My love, if I lose my mind, I'd be so ashamed if you witnessed. I'll try my best for you to try and keep my head, but my God, it's slipping. An unspoken truth. I feel my body dying as the clock keeps ticking, and everything I knew is painted with the fear that it's all for nothing. Could I interrupt?
That lyric, everything I do is painted with the fear that it's all for nothing, hits me every time. Fuck.
If the weight should get too heavy, I'll help hold this burden. I'll walk with you, my love, into the fires of hell if it would ease the burning. But please don't lose your trust. The man I know is brave, so don't you dare say you're folding. I can be your crutch until we both grow old and the curtains closing.
This part here hits me so hard, and just the way the loud guitars come in, the way that things are kind of different, it's really, really, really kind of unbelievable to me. The way it goes from that soft, delicate, tender moment of feeble and helplessness to this big madness of just like, it almost kind of feels like that moment where your brain goes from being so sad about something to so angry about being so sad about something. Like, and it's wow. As a person who's kind of been left, like, stood there naked and confused and wondering, like, I know how brutal that feeling can be. And golly, does it hit hard. So I guess the last song of this album, is Freckled Angels, and then from there I may react depending on how this one leaves me to the live Freckled Angels though. Guys, thank you for being along on this ride so far. I appreciate it so much. Let's check out Freckled Angels together.
Could I have just a day where I'd get to see your face? I would laugh and you would skate, hanging out by the pier gate, chasing dreams, freckled face, no inhibitions, aces mates. Tell me everything's okay. You never meant to go away, and I need something to hold on to. And I wish I could hold on to you, 'cause I will never ever forget you. And bet I know you'll be soaring through, because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. Oh, their friends, they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
That part was referenced in Suicide, so now I kind of have an idea of where it was that came from. This one really kind of hit me, you know, even just him, because I know I will never forget you, and I bet I know you'll be soaring through. Like, just this idea, this desire of just wanting your buddy to be okay after all was said and done, after knowing how hard it was here. Worry Queen, thank you for the one bitty bit, that tickle bitty, and I appreciate it so much. I meant for Joe, Mav. I said Suicide. You're right. I meant to say for Joe. This song was referenced in For Joe.
Could I have just a sec?
And thank you for the tickle bitty. Now I got a complete set, guys. Thank you.
Please pull me up out of this wreck, crack a joke and tense your pecs, act a fool, but with excellence. And every time I laugh, it reminds me of you, the funniest guy I ever knew. I've got so much left to say, hope I can tell you oh someday. And I need something to hold on to, and I wish I could hold on to you, 'cause I will never ever forget you. And bet I know you'll be soaring through, because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. Oh, their friends, they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
I think that the way he laid it out in For Joe on the piano there, and he kind of did just a constant descend. I like the chord structure that he did there a little bit better. I think, and the way he sang it too, because it was just, you know, and this, he's kind of doing a lot more going up and down with his voice versus Freckled Angels. And he kind of cause I know you're gonna be okay. Like, I just, that seemed a lot more intimate in this context. It feels like a beautiful, wonderful homage of trying to think about the fondness of your buddy. But it feels different all the same.
hope you can hear me singing to you. 'Cause if so, I'll sing until my voice shatters and my lungs they explode. I'll sing over a crowded room so they all know how much I really miss you, Joe. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts they are the largest. With their wings they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds they are the strongest. Oh, their friends they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
Oh man. You could hear him really getting emotional in his voice there in the end. Worry Queen, thank you for the 50 big old tickle bitties. This one goes out to Joe. I have a feeling that if it were not for Joe, I might not have heard of who Ren was. I might not have had several different moments of self-realization in my life that came about from a catalyst of music that I discovered from a bunch of wonderful people. Guys, from the Rooskies to Joe, here's to you, pal, in your honor. That was a really beautiful album. I think I still stand on my statement where I say I think that this album needed to walk so that Ren could run. I definitely think that his abilities as a musician exponentially increased. I think when you play music with guys like those that were in the big push, you're kind of challenged to rise to the occasion. I think playing in that band probably made him a better solo musician. In the same way, I feel like as a musician and a craftsman, I think he continued to pursue his craft. And I think that that is actually a really, really, really cool thing, because you can really, this feels like a freshman album. And I think it's really cool that you can see where that's come from. Oh crap. Okay. So to close this stream off, I am gonna react to the live version of Freckled Angels, and I'm gonna wish you guys a farewell, and I'm gonna go to bed. But I will tell you guys, I'm very thankful for those of you that stuck around to listen to the album Freckled Angels with me. I think that this was a wonderful album, and I think it's really, really, really cool to see this, sort of a stepping stone that Ren took to get to where he is now. And it's really cool to see the way his story, kind of evolved. You can definitely hear the difference in the productions of the album. There's no question. Like, some of these songs just seem to stand out in production value and creativity a little bit more than others. I think my favorite song from the album is definitely Crutch. My favorite song that I hadn't heard, it might be Bullet. Or I don't know, maybe it's me. I'm gonna have to think about. No, it was Pocket Full of Pain for sure. That's the one it was. But guys, without further ado, let's check out the live version of this song, Freckled Angels, and we'll go from there.
This next song is probably one of the most important songs that I've ever written, I feel. It's dedicated to a friend of mine who passed away about 8 months ago, called Joe Hughes, so everyone remember that name because he's an absolute legend. And it's called Freckled Angels, and it goes like this.
Dude was getting torn up already.
old love, you would skate, hanging out by the pier cave.
It's definitely still raw. 8 months is nothing in the spectrum of grief, but I will also say that this is already a much more charismatic performance than what we just heard. There's something here that was just lacking before, you know?
Chasing dreams, freckled face, no inhibitions, aces mates. Tell me everything's okay. You never meant to go away, and I need something to hold on to, and I wish I could hold on to you, 'cause I will never ever forget you. But I know you'll be soaring through, because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the...
I will say I can tell he's getting emotional in a couple of ways. Like, not only his facial expressions, the way he's kind of singing, but he's actively speeding up as he's playing the guitar since he started the chorus. And I'm sure so much of this is because he's battling, staying put together, like being afloat, getting through the song. But listen to the difference here.
Because freckled angels...
He starts off do do do.
Angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. All their friends, they are the fondest. So I know you're gonna be okay.
Nah, I think he's literally, he's fighting, holding back. And like when he's doing that, it's like if you're kind of just doing the routine, like tears can escape through. I don't know. He's not speeding up intentionally whatsoever. This is not him increasing his tempo intentionally. I think that this is him trying to keep himself composed, and it's while he's doing that, he's lost his focus on keeping tempo, because we probably went up 10 BPMs there easy.
Just a sec, pull me up.
This, I just connected. It reminds me a little bit of the A-Team by Ed Sheeran.
Out of this wreck, crack a joke, intense your pecs, act a fool, but with excellence. And every time I laugh, it reminds me of you, the funniest guy I ever knew. I've got so much left to say, hope I can tell you, oh, someday. I need something to hold on to. I wish I could hold on to you, 'cause I will never ever forget you. But I know you'll be soaring through, because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. And with their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I definitely think our guy's getting emotional here. And I think I realized, and I didn't convey it very well, Mav, that I knew you mean he didn't do it intentionally, or meant that he didn't do it intentionally. But yeah, there's, I think the nervousness could be from just trying to get the song out, yeah. And you're absolutely right. The same kind of thing as, yeah, I'm smoking what you're selling, yeah.
'Cause I will never ever forget you. But I know you'll be soaring through, because freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. And with their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their hearts, they are the strongest. And all their friends, they are the fondest. So I know you're gonna be okay. And I hope you can hear me singing to you, 'cause if so, I'll sing until my voice shatters and my...
You know, I want to go back and kind of hear this because I think it's a very, very, very cool way where you can see kind of the emotion evolve over this moment here, right? Like he goes from playing really fast, trying to just get this out.
The fundies, so I know you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, absolutely breaking. And then literally going from this moment of kind of brokenness, you know, where he's literally throwing out concept of tempo to make this happen.
Freckled angels live the longest, and their hearts, they are the strongest, and all their friends, they are the fundiest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
And then when he comes back in, he had his brain have a break for him to do this little instrumental moment. He comes back in at normal pace. The second he starts singing again, he's speeding back up.
And I hope you can hear me singing to you, 'cause if so, I'll sing until my voice shatters and my lungs, they explode. I'll sing over a crowded room so they all know how much I really miss you, Joe. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels are the funnest, and their minds, they are the strongest. All their friends, they are the fundiest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
It's kind of crazy to think about, like, when I think about what life would have been like for other people in the context that I took my life, I can't imagine it. I can't even imagine it. And I think that there was this period of my life where I had convinced myself that I could imagine it, and then it would be better. And as I sit here and talk about this now, it's very easy for me to see that clearly if I would be willing, or would have been willing, to look past the selfishness that was my pain, I might have seen that people really cared and were really concerned. And again, the realization that, sure, people love me, but I don't love me, was what made me realize things needed to change. And I think that that's something that I hope, if anybody is dealing with mental health issues, or, you know, feelings that are much bigger than one knows how to handle, I hope that you give yourself some grace and realize that you're worthy of love, especially from you. Guys, I'm going to close this down. Thank you for being here for this reaction to Freckled Angels, the album and the song and the live song. Thank you for the positivity you show both to me and to one another. Thank you for everything, especially for making me feel so wonderful about myself in a period of my life where I hadn't been for a really long time. I love you. Be the best until I see you next.